Hi everyone, Emma here. Take a look at my desk. It is somewhat organized. You would never know that by looking at it, but I'm sure you guys know your desk's probably the same. So the reason I'm here is to show you this little guy. I'm so excited to show you, and let me get some more light on this here. There we go, a little better. So I have been talking about doing this really cool idea of covering the bead container with this lovely snowman. And there's other design patterns. There's a Santa Claus, there's I think an elf, and a deer, like reindeer, Rudolph. So let's bring this in. So this is the almost finished. I think what I'm going to do is add some 15O beads in here, and actually we could probably do it. Let me see if I still have my needle somewhere here in this mess. So I did have some stuff to say about this. First of all, it's kind of a review of these beads. So let me pull out some of these beads. So I did a review of these beads. Now the review I used these pink and these red beads. Let me grab what I made with that. So this was, again, the idea was to use it to cover a bead container. So something like this. You can use this to cover a pen. Let me see, this is probably a lot bigger than what you need for a pen, but you see so this is kind of neat. So you can do that. So that looks really lovely. So actually I would definitely recommend, using these beads for something like that. Although you can see the unevenness of them, you can see a bit of the black of the pen behind it. So I think overall these beads are for fun. I wouldn't necessarily use it in a really extensive project that I would be giving as a gift or selling. But definitely for something fun like this, absolutely, they are great. So let's talk about these beads and this project and how it all came together. So this was crazy, crazy frustrating. First of all, I was doing this design from an image I saw on Pinterest. And normally it's not a big deal, so I start out with my graph paper. So you can get this peyote stitch with cylinder beads from Art Beads. And they have a bunch of different paper, graph paper that you can download. They have so they have odd count, they have even count, they have loom pattern graph, so that you can see these are staggered. These shows the beads staggered for peyote, but with the loom one they are side by side, so you can draw your own patterns and then follow it that way, and then it's all numbered, and this is what it looks like on the bottom as well. So it shows you the odd count and even count. So I'm surprised it's on the same page, but anyway, so that's that. You should definitely take a look and download these sheets. They're awesome. So I start out with this, and whatever the image is, I try and find a part of the image that stands out for me and that's centered. So I decided that I would need 40. So actually I started here, 44. And you can see I've crossed off. This is how many attempts I made. Each time I did it, and I did maybe 3 or 4 rows, and this is what that looked like. So this was, I think I started with this one. And you take the tube and you go around, and even though I measured it and decided where it should be, I was still way over the size. So that sucked. But I was like, whatever, I'll just use this, maybe make something like a bracelet, whatever, with that. Then I started again, and you can see in my little notes here, I started with 44, I went down to 42, then to 38, and then look, miraculously, I'm back at 40. What? Now, of course, I missed the 40 in here. And then I wrote small tube 36. It's just, so that's a big issue. And I think part of the issue that I had was that I was using different size beads. So when I talked about reviewed these beads, these black ones are massive compared to the others. And it's hard to see that on the screen, but they are a lot bigger. You can kind of tell, well, you can tell just by looking at them. So these here are delicas, and then you get these, so you can see how much bigger they are next to them. So there's that, and of course the big part of the hat is those black. So, and it's, as far as I could tell, it was hard to find some black beads that were all the same size. The other thing is these are size 10. They're listed as size 10. Now, in the video I did a review, I put these beads, 10 of these next to 10 of Miyuki Delicas, and these were one bead bigger, over 10. So they are different sizes, but I thought for one bead over 10, it shouldn't be that big a deal, but it was. So here's I'm kind of jumping around, but it'll all come together in a second here. So these were the white ones that I ordered from AliExpress, and I did say in the review they were garbage. You can tell by looking at them. They're big, they're skinny in their depth, they're misshapen, they wouldn't fit with these. Like if I were, even though they were supposed to both be 10-O's, there's no way this would fit with this. So I had to find some beads because of course it's a snowman, I need white. So I remembered that I had this that I ordered, so I decided to use these, and of course they're 11-O's. So this is what happened. So I went from having the black bead, which was way too big, into the white beads of the Delicas, which were definitely smaller size. So it was all buckling, and what I did was to straighten it out is I just stretched it apart, and you can see where I've stretched it. So everything is pulling apart. But then once I got into here, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep my tension nice and get them sitting together nicely. But you can see, here's the black of the mouth and the eyes. They really pop above the rest, which not a big deal with this design because it's supposed to represent coal, so it's kind of 3D. So I just continued on. When I got to the red and green of the scarf, you can definitely see how it pops up. So they are definitely bigger than the Delicas, and it shows. Again, not a big deal. It gives it a bit of a 3D effect to it. Not exactly what I wanted, but you know what? I'm not like super upset about it. So yeah, there was that. And then when I got done, actually I was partway through and I realized quickly there was an issue. Let me turn it around. How many times do I have to measure and count the start of those beads? Because I don't know if you can see this, but from this nail to this nail, I had to add. So once I started beading continuously, this did not fit. This is all added. This whole area, about, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows this way. And you can kind of see, not a big deal, it's at the back, but you know, it's frustrating. you put this much time into it, you want to have the correct measurements. So anyway, I was looking to get an image to show you the picture that I saw on Pinterest that was showing these tubes. So here's the thing, this tube is really big, but the tube on the image, I would say, and you know what, this is really skinny compared, it's kind of in between this one and this one. So it's not quite this fat, but anyway, they do describe this tube to be used, so, but they don't give measurements. Anyway, this is how it turned out. So when I looked at the image on Pinterest, I noticed that there was a link to a website, and the website is called A Bead, and it's a beading shop in the UK. And it's I haven't had a chance to take a look at the whole site, but it looks like it's strictly peyote stuff. So it's peyote beads, peyote patterns, kits and packs, findings, and on and on. And you should definitely take a look. I will link them in this video, because you can download this design for $7 Canadian. It's an instant download. So I have never paid for a pattern like an instant download. I know a lot of people do them on Etsy. I've never paid for one. I have somewhat of an ability to look at a pattern or an image and know how to do it. There are some that are a little more difficult than others, but there's a few reasons why I don't pay for patterns. One, I like to be able to show you guys how to do stuff so that you don't have to pay for the pattern. And if I were to buy somebody's pattern and then show it on YouTube, then it interferes with their sales, and I don't want to do that. Now, I feel like it's a fair game if I see an image and then do the pattern from there. It's kind of there's kind of a gray line there, but who knows? Anyway, yeah, I mean, and in my opinion too, is how can you copyright a pattern when I've seen them selling kit or download patterns that is a pattern of a regular, say, right angle weave bracelet. So again, it's like, it's one of those things. So, but you know what? I want to talk about doing this, and the fact that I learned a lot from this, and the biggest thing is not to be disappointed when things don't work out and not to give up on certain things. So I'm just getting into peyote. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't have a lot of skill around it. So this doing this was a lot of fun, even though it was frustrating and I had to start over and I had to order the different color beads and wait for them and stuff like that. It was still a lot of fun. I learned a lot about measuring and, how you set up your pattern and stuff like that. And it also got me going where I went back to YouTube and looked at a bunch of different kind of starter videos on how to do peyote patterns and whatnot. So yeah, don't get discouraged if your patterns don't work out. It's still really cute. And I just want to say, for this pattern too, one of the biggest things I took away from this pattern was this face. This face is so hilarious and cute. And I find the biggest part to this is this idea of putting the blue beads around the eye gives it a look like it's real kind of googly eyeballs. And then this pink cheeks, the little pink beads with the rest of the kohl, and then this funny carrot nose, and definitely the scarf is really cool. So it was fun overall. So don't give up and keep trying new patterns and playing with your beads. I mean, it's so much fun. So there, I am going to end here, but yeah, I'm going to go take a look at this website and see. I may be eating my words and downloading patterns. I don't know. Who knows? So take care and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.